Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second last episode of 2025 12 Days of BD Fun. Tomorrow's my birthday. How exciting. Today, I actually want to talk about overcoming, you can see I'm overcoming overthinking and trusting your intuition. Overthinking is something I really needed to learn how to let go of. I spent over 30 years in a career where I needed to think all the time because things were happening. It was, like the front line, emergencies, etc. I needed to overthink, so I was always prepared. Yet in business, I don't need to do that. I don't need to overthink because the more I overthink, the less my intuition comes through. Now, I want to talk about 3 points. The first one is acknowledge the overthinking instead of fighting it, using the yes no body scan to tap into your intuition, and strengthening self trust to reduce that second guessing. Now, let's have a look at the first one, acknowledging the overthinking instead of fighting it. Now, the more that you actually push, the more that your overthinking actually gets stronger. Because when you're pushing, you're fighting. So let go of the pushing and relax more. It's amazing what actually happens when you learn to relax and go, you know what? These thoughts are coming up, which is the next thing. Engage with those thoughts. Write down what your inner critic is saying and then actually challenge it. Because when you actually acknowledge those thoughts, they have much less power. Acknowledge them. These thoughts are absolutely normal. Running a business can be challenging. It can be exhilarating as well, but it can be challenging. So acknowledge the thoughts so they have less power. Write down those thoughts and, you know, find out. You don't always need to find out. Just the process of writing down the thought can have it just go, yep, okay, we're good. Be aware of that. And also the power of reframing. I have learnt that so well over the years, especially when I did the diploma of counselling. So ask yourself, is this true? And what if the opposite were true? So is it true that I need to, schedule 5 posts a day? Is that actually true? Challenge that thought because that may not be the right strategy for you. It may be too overwhelming because you want to do what's right for you. So challenge those beautiful thoughts. Now, the yes no body scan is really, really cool. Think of a decision that you've got to make. Close your eyes, say yes to the decision, then no, and observe what is happening. What happened when you said yes? And what happened when you said no? The more that you do that, the easier it is to be able to tune into your intuition and know. Now, there was a group where this lady was talking about, and this is about outsourcing your decisions, but she was talking about how she had an idea and she wanted to know whether it was going to work. Now, there was thousands of opinions, and you're going to get that. And I just challenged her. I said, look, what happens when you tune into your intuition? Now, she came back and she said, oh, my intuition is telling me yes and no. And I challenged that and said, that is not your intuition. Your intuition will not be unclear like that. Your intuition is very clear. It will give you a yes or a no. It's very clear. And it may say, actually, this might work better. So what was happening for her was her thoughts were coming through. So the yes, no body scan is really cool for going, okay, I've got this idea. I'm going to say yes to it. What's happening? I'm going to say no to it. What's happening? And then learning to recognize the intuitive signals. Because intuition normally, it depends how it comes through for you. And I'm going to talk about me because I don't want to talk about what might be for you. For me, it feels light, flowing, aligned, and instant. It is instant. And what is the difference between fear and intuition? For me, fear feels tense, pressured, maybe even heavy, and it may actually be me overanalyzing or the fear coming through. There is a difference between your fear and your intuition. The more you work with them, the more you'll understand how they come through for you. And let's look at strengthening self-trust to reduce that second guessing. The second guessing also means we're going to outsource our decision making. We're going to go to our coach and get them to make the decision for us. Repetition builds that beautiful confidence. The more that you listen and practice with your intuition, the stronger it will get. And letting go of that need for external validation, that's what I was talking about. Trusting yourself means you're releasing the need for constant confirmation. This is something that we could have, again, I'll talk about me. It is something that happened for me. I was taught that everyone else had the answers. I needed to learn how to trust myself again and embrace the uncertainty. You don't need to know every step. Intuition guides you moment by moment. I have a plan for my business and I have steps. Whether I'm going to follow that exact plan or not doesn't matter. Having that plan is comfortable for me. And then my intuition will come through and it will guide me. Pretty cool, isn't it? I love all of this. I love it. Let's have a look. So our episode was overcoming overthinking and trusting your intuition. We looked at acknowledging the overthinking instead of fighting it. So don't fight it. Allow it to just come up, because the more you acknowledge it, the less it's going to happen. Using the yes-no body scan to tap into your intuition, and strengthening self-trust to reduce second guessing. That has been this episode. Thank you for watching and listening.